with the checks in place and our refactor done, it's time for us to reallow the special movement, the castling, and pass on and promotion. I've previously added here to the board model and the game model because as we're moving things around, but here in the board model, we don't need it because this type of movement now is done by the game model, and here in the board, we just move pieces around. So this now parameter is not needed anymore, which also removes the necessity of assigning this here. Don't know if there's any other place that we use that, except then, of course, the game model itself, which we're going to remove this move, remove the move. And let's start adding our castle. Make castle move here to be just this dot make rook castle move. The same function that we already created before, is just that now we update the board here, update square piece, king row, target column for the rook, and everything. Let's just come back to our game, I'm going to refresh and see if this works. So I'm going to bring up the knight, open here, let me maybe take out the queen, take out the bishop, going to open here for this, and I can move the king. However, the rook didn't move to the other place. Let's check that out. Why? I'm going to add the bishop here and check it out if the same happens with black. So yeah, the same. So we have the king moving, doing the castling moving, that's fine, but the rook didn't update there. This could be a problem of our logic here in making the rook castle move, or just a problem with the board not being in the most updated state. I think it's the first case, so let's check it out. You have here, if the move type is move type castle king side, we're also going to move the rook. We move before here the king. So my suggestion is that this move type is not arriving correctly here. So move piece. Let's go back here to our app TTX and remake the flow of our move piece. So we have here the board, which we call this function move piece, and then I have game move piece, giving this move model. This move piece here from the board, TTX. Let's get it here. So have select square, and if it's not the same, move piece, get move for this specific square. The logic seems exactly what we had before, so don't see many changes. Let's investigate. I'm going to come to our sources, and now I'm looking at the game model. So move piece, I want to check if this here is the move type is correct. So let's go here to the game model and add a breakpoint here. Refresh. Breakpoint is pausing. Okay, you see here that the move is type normal, which is as expected at this moment. I'm going to pass this and just unselect this breakpoint for now so we can check, do all the other movements without stopping here. To block this one, knight here, take out the bishop, and now I'm going to enable it again and check. Then I enter again. Okay. Yeah, you see that the move here is type normal. So we're saying that we're going to the column 6, row 0, but type is normal. Why is that? I'm not exactly sure. Maybe in our king piece model, we're not adding the move type correctly? No, we are. It's here. It's added. So most likely, this is being lost in this move validation service. Whenever I have here the possible moves, I'm going to push check valid move. And this check valid move has here the move itself. Okay, where do I start this? It's type normal. No, actually here it's not type normal. The type of our move is of the possible move, single config, and move type, which I can get actually here directly. So move type. And type will be of move type. However, move type can be undefined. So if not, then no, yeah, then we're going to use here move type dot normal. So if there is not a move type, but the type should be move type. Is there any other here also important? Move type. But no, here it's always normal. Yeah, this here is always normal. This is fine because we're creating a new one. It's always normal. Let's go back to our application, which take out here our breakpoints, refresh, and check it again. So move it, move the pawn, move the knight, move another pawn, and now perfect. That worked as expected. Let's check also for black and just in case, check also for the other side, right? To make on both queen and king side. Yeah, both are fine. That is our castling done as we have it here. Nice. We do have a couple of problems here though. The first one of them, if let's open our king here, piece model, and this king piece model, we have the must be empty coordinates and the must be not moved rook. The empty coordinates is actually working because of the blocking of the pieces, which is good, but we're not using it. And most importantly, must not be moved rook. We are allowing the king to castle more than once, and even after it has already moved. So we need to come back to our move validation service and use these two properties that we created just for the castling and be able then to check this. Let's bring then these two properties here to our check valid move because we need what we want to check, right? We want to check if these are if move is valid, and for that we need to make sure that this is really happening. So what we're going to do that after we check all of this, and just like we do with the would be in check, we're going to validate if there is must not be moved rook dot length because this is an array. If so, we're going to go for everything inside this must be not moved rook for each. So here to be it's a coordinate model. It's it's a coordinate model. Perfect. Going to say here coordinate model. And if what is the name of our function that we are created? Check if rook and not moved. So if check rook and if not moved, this returns true. If it has not moved, okay, just confirming. Send it then the coordinate. I think it's what it needs. No, it needs piece. So what I need to grab here is the board dot get square on coordinate, sending the coordinate dot piece. This is what I need to send. If then has moved, so not has not moved, so if it has moved, any of this, we're going to say that move check dot move is equal to null. So this movement is not valid anymore. We're going to do the same kind of logic for must be empty coordinates. But here, instead of calling this function, we're just going to verify if there is a piece. If there is a piece inside this coordinate, move check becomes null. It's an extra validation. Let's go back to our game. I'm going to open here and let's remove the bishop, put the queen, move the knight, put this pawn here. And now I can do here our castling, okay? But if I move my king, let me move another piece here, move back, move again, I cannot castle anymore. That's working, that's good. Let me then try to do the same logic for the black king. Put this here, and I'm going to put the knight here, change the queen, move the rook, maybe this knight, move the rook back, change the knight again, and now the king cannot castle to this side, even if it's empty, because this rook has already moved. And this is quite nice, okay? Simple logic, but prevents what needed to be prevented for the castle. And finally, the last rule about castling is that you cannot castle while you are in check, nor through check. So we need to add even a third property here for the castling, which of course need to be optional and must not be in check. So in these coordinates, the king cannot be in check. But we need to make sure that we're using here the king, and that's why then it's an assumption that we're going to use this property with the king. We're going to put the king in each of these coordinates and verify if the king is in check. Okay, that said, we need to go back to our king piece model and add here must not be in check. It's exactly the same as the positions where we want to check if it's empty. So these positions on the side of the king, because it's where it's going to. So these positions where the king would be in check, so would be in check if moved, if castling. And of course, we also need to add the position that the king is right now. So prevent the king from castling if it is already in check. We're going to do the same here on the other side. But now I'm going to use these ones. And of course, the position of the king, the 4. This is how it would look like. And with this, we can come back here to our move validation service and verify if I'm even going to double check here for you should not block verify, check verify. So I may just add this inside the if. And now if this to do like though. And now if what is in our property? I have some memory issues, it seems must not be in check. Going to add it here. So if this dot length must not be in check, we're going to validate for all the possibilities here inside, just like we did with the other two. Must be not move rook and must be empty coordinates. So coordinates of coordinate model. And now the idea is if would be in check, sending the board as is, the square is the king, because we're checking the king anyway. So if the king would go to this coordinate, here we don't send a coordinate to would be in check, we send a move per se. So a move has a coordinate and a type. Okay, so let's just go here and create move check is a move with a coordinate, or no, just like so. I think it's like this. Where is move model? Let me get it here. Move model, type. Yeah, just probably forgetting the type coordinate model. Okay, this can be removed from here. Okay, good that we cleaned it up. No? No. Piece info. It's not on piece type anymore. Let's remove this. Found something weird here in the middle of the code because now it's on piece type. Okay. Coming back here, we have the move, which to be the coordinate, and the type, it to be move type, not normal. Actually, it's not the move, not this move. I added something more. This is the move check. Now, if there is this, if it would be in check in one of those, move check dot move equals no. Like that. So it's a lot of validations to verify, like just to make sure that this move check here becomes no or not. As this is a lot of different ifs, we could actually extract this, right, to a new function to not have this in the middle of all this function here, as it's already a bit of a bigger function here, 119, 70, like 50 kind of 50 lines. Let's extract this in a new function. I'm going to create a new one here, check valid move. I'm going to say check valid move special cases. Let's do it like this, and it will return a boolean. Okay, this is like this, and now let's say that if it returns true, it's valid. If it returns false, it's an invalid move, right? I'll bring all of this inside, all of these ifs, and put it here. And then here, we call this function if check all valid move special cases, sending the board, the square, and the possible move. And if this is not valid, move check dot move equals no. Simple like so. I'm going to grab this and bring it here. Okay, what else is missing? These ones are not needed, if I'm not mistaken. We're not going to do move check dot move. We're just going to return. But as here there is for each, we don't want to return here because the return side for each, it will not work. So we're going to do is create a let is valid move equals true. And if at any moment this enters, is valid moves become false. Like this, like this, like this, and then we return is valid move. What this is, it could possibly be undefined, so if not this, just return true, it's valid, that's fine. And now we're just missing the move check, move. Okay, that's interesting. Let's say here, so the possible move and the move itself, move check. It will be type of move check. And now we can just send it down here. Move check. This can be removed from this function. It's a slightly better even. Okay, I like it better extracted in a different function just to keep separated these two special cases. Now let's come back and check it out. Oh, there is a problem. I think there's, if I click here, yeah, board component, get valid moves for one column is not defined. What is going on? Yeah, here. I deleted something I should not have. I completely deleted my get valid moves for row and column. That's definitely not the greatest, especially because it's been a bit since I committed stuff. So let me do it slightly different here. I'm going to copy everything I have. And let me do some command Z's here and see where did I mess up. Here I saw some big, no, it's fine. Here it's fine still. Yeah, here. Somehow, at some point, I deleted this function in full. Oh, that's not good. So I'm just going to copy paste everything I had before that I copied. Let's remove this, edit below, and I'll copy this, bring it down here. And now I can delete everything that I have from above. Okay, our function is saved. And just out of precaution, here, special cases, check, and special cases, and start special cases. Let me commit everything. Slightly afraid after this. Okay, that's fine. Let me refresh the page. and check it out again. Okay, this looks better. I'm going to remove the queen here. I'm also going to remove the queen here. Bring the bishop, take out the bishop. Going to move the knight, move this knight. Going to bring the bishop here and check it out if I can castle with the king, even if I'm in check, and I can. So that's not good. It didn't work as it should be. Let's come back to our code and understand why. Check valid move, verify for these special cases. And they're validating if must not be in check length. We go for inside all of them, and if would be in check for this coordinate, type move normal. And this logic seems fine to me. Would be in check, and then would be in check if I move my king, let's say, to the same square as it is already. Get square on coordinates now, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the move piece. This is the problem. We are adding the current square piece to the final square, but then we are deleting the piece from this current square. But as they are the same, this will cause an issue, right? So we could make a validation here if the current square and final square are different, or we could make validation here that would be in check, verifying maybe that if it's a movement no, or it's a movement that will not change anything, then we don't execute this move piece. I think I'll do that. So instead of returning false directly here, I'll create a new board. And if there is a move, I'm going to ask to move. Otherwise, we're going to check the board as is. And now, in this case here, it keeps the same, but we cannot send it in the must not be in check, as this movement will still be, it will not be no, right? It will be a normal movement there. We're going to add even another one, and even another property here, target coordinate, block check verify, and this extra property, which I'll call must not be in check, which will be then a boolean. Here there's must not be in check coordinates. Let me add here coordinates for this one and this one as well, because they're coordinates, and refactor slightly here. Coordinates, just to make difference and keep the same idea from the must be empty coordinates. Okay, that is fine. Let's also edit here. A lot of refactors. Okay, this seems good now to me. And in these ones, have the push castle king side must not be in check true on both of them, both castle king and both castle queen. And now we make another validation for must not be in check. Here, if must not be in check and would be in check, let's say here board is square and no. If so, is valid move equals false. This must not be in check is a property of the possible move. I'm going to add it directly because we will check once, don't need to destructure it, like so. Coming back then to our application, let's get going. Here, this one, let me remove the knight, move this. So I'm going to move this one, just so I can give a check. Move this pawn as well, take out the bishop, and now with my bishop here, the king cannot castle because he's currently in check. So maybe let's then block this check. And I'm going to bring my knight there. To bring my knight. Let me see where I can bring my knight. Yeah, here. Then maybe add this pawn here and the knight here. So now the knight is attacking this square, which prevents the king from moving here and from castling through here. So it can only move in this position. Our logic is perfect, and now our castling is finally ready. And that's a relief. It's one of the most complex points, like this special movement. As you may see, there's something weird here? No. As you may see, the special movements and these small details, it's what really take time when you're developing. The base, the overall, the idea, it's quite easy to do, and you can get it done quite fast. But it's these fine details that take a lot of time to get everything 100%. Our board's fine. Let me close the app, the board, game model, and let's go for our next special move. En passant, we uncomment this moment here. Board is this dot board because the board now is inside the game model, and then to update this square with that. Okay, this should be fairly simple, should be exactly just works out of the box. So let's move our pawns a bit. I'm going to maybe move this knight, and I'll move this pawn. And whenever I come here, I could now come here. See, en passant, quite simple. We already had the logic done before, and no special ideas that needed to be fixed for that. So this is basically what we need. Next one in line is the promotion. So let's uncomment here the promotion as well. Set promotion coordinates. It was a state. Now no need anymore. So just promotion coordinates equal these final coordinates. And we're going to return just like we did before, because we don't want to switch the terms. We want to keep this promotion coordinates here and then select a promotion piece whenever the user so selects. Let's go back to our app TCX. And we have then the move piece, select promotion piece. It's already here. Let's double check the promotion coordinates is already being used via the game. Seems fair to me. Let's refresh the game because just changed a bit of logic, so I'm going to refresh fully. Going to move this pawn up the board, up, up, and up. Now I'm going to grab this pawn, and if I grab the rook, I can see here the selection piece selection for us. Let me take a queen. If I select the queen, nothing is happening. So the promotion choice, or is it? But we're not re-rendering our app. Now, yeah, we see there, it's our queen's promoted. Let me capture the other queen here and select the queen. Perfect. It was just missing to update, to refresh the rendering of our board. And with this, we finish it up. Everything, all the special movements that we have in the chess game. Castling, en passant, promotion, verifying then the checks and all of that that needs to be done. The only thing missing here for the rules themselves is the checkmate. And we're going to check that in the next video. I'll see you there.